Greg Taxin with Luma Asset Management. First, a little bit about what Luma does that might be different from what most people are familiar with in terms of activists.
So what Luma does is develop ideas for activist investments, really ideas around individual companies, and then we go and raise capital for that particular investment from a group of high net worth families and some fund of funds and some others that like this investment style but want some insight into where their money is going to be put to work.
Something else you're doing fascinating. Obviously, companies are bracing themselves for activism, and some of them are actually starting to bring activists into the fold, right?
Well, it's certainly been requested to come in and help some companies with either activist campaigns or where they feel vulnerable to an activist. And I've done it now a couple of times. It's been fascinating to be sort of on the other side of some of these discussions and get, the insight into how companies think about their vulnerabilities or their challenges that may be presented by an activist.
You have been on the activist side of a bunch of proxy fights.
Yeah, well, we've done 40 investments, and 5 of those turned into proxy fights. So try not to do it too often because they're expensive and distracting and annoying for everybody.
Right.
But anyway, I have done 5. We won 4 of those. 3 of them were for a majority of the board, which sort of suggests real shift in kind of the company's operations, but also that the shareholders were pretty unhappy with the way the business was being run, such that they were willing to kick out a majority of the board.
What does getting to a proxy fight tell you about investor relations at that company?
Well, I'm not sure this is something your audience wants to hear, but generally it's a failure of investor relations that gets you to the place where there's such divergent views over where the shareholders are, right? In terms of kind of where they want the company to go or how they feel about management or the capital structure. There's such divergent views between the activist and the company, right? That you have to kind of duke it out. I mean, it's like a lawsuit, right? That doesn't settle. Why don't they settle? They don't settle because people have a difference of view on the likely outcome. And generally, as you know, activists win proxy fights, the overwhelming majority. So to me, at least, if you get to a proxy fight, what it means is the board and management team haven't gotten good counsel about where the investors are. And usually that's a failure of IR.